Do we have sound? I just need to know that we have sound working. Also, do we have a robot? Why is there no robot? Why is the bot not working? I don't get what's going on here. Something's broken. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL. And, well, we're having some bot problems. And every time I go into the site where the bot comes from, um, turning on the whole 8-ball thing happens each and every single time. And I don't understand what's happening. And it's not showing me as having logged in. So I'm really confused at the moment here. I was trying to fix it before I started everything, but it was taking too long. So here I am. So weird. Okay, so I'm solo at the moment. However, as you may have noticed in the chat, Mandy is on her way back and she should be here shortly. So yeah. Um I really don't understand what's going on with the streaming tools. Like something is really messed up over here. I don't get it. All right, well, let's go on to the next thing. Next thing is we have a secret word game where all you need to do is to chat and win. And with the bots kind of on strike, there's a possibility that I'm going to have to be the guy to watch out for you guys to type it in. And I don't spell so good, so you guys kind of have it a little bit easier than normal because the robot actually cares about like getting letters in the right order, that kind of stuff. So there's that. Let's see what else we got. Oh, we've got, check this out, guys. We have like 900 watch hours to go on this channel. So that is pretty amazing. And if you look down at the bottom now, it's really little because back then screens weren't so high res. That is the actual original logo to AKAAWOL.com. I was playing around on the internet and fell down a rabbit hole of nostalgia and discovered my very old website. And that was the original logo we had. So yeah, crazy stuff, man. I thought it'd be fun to share. I've got a couple more. Maybe I'll share another one next week or something. We'll see. But I had some funny ones from way back when. So yeah. Meanwhile, I have not done a single knot on this thing since last week, and I'm prepared to do it now. So, two of these segments didn't get quite as much treatment as the other two. So, there was what? There's four of them in all. So, two of them had this area that I'm working on now already accomplished. So, I'm going to get these two caught up and then we'll start joining them all together. And hello, new person that I can't possibly imagine how to say your name. So, hello. So, so much going on this week, so many things. Oh my gosh. I uh I went and saw a doctor about my heart condition and for the most part, I think it went well. He's going to do a ultrasound to take a look at how my heart is doing before recommending any further medications or anything like that. So later this month I'll have that going on. But yeah, so far, it didn't seem like it was overly concerning. I'm not, you know, in bad shape or recommended not to do things or whatever. So that's good. What else? Oh, went out yesterday and got myself some more candy corn. So I'm a pretty happy camper over here. Let's see, what else? Oh, I just discovered that the shorts, so I noticed that we were getting a lot more watch hours, and I attributed a lot of that to the massive turnouts to the short videos that I put out. However, I just learned today, like found it actually from Google themselves, saying that no, the video shorts, the time from that is not added to your watch hours, which really kind of bummed me out. So I don't understand the purpose then. If it's not helping the watch hours, what exactly do the shorts accomplish? Does anybody even know that? I mean, okay, granted, it puts my content out in front of a lot more people. So maybe I get a few more subscribers, but I'm not sure that those subscribers are going to notice my long content versus the short content. So I really don't understand the whole premise there. So if anybody's got a little insight into this, I'm very, very curious. Hey, we got somebody from Russia. That's kind of my father was from Russia. Um, Now the area I think is Ukrainian, but back in the day it was all part of Russia when it was one big conglomerate. He left during the Bolshevik Revolution. He was just a child. They went to some part of Europe, I want to say France or something, before taking a boat to Mexico. Ah, Cool. So Rainbow can help with that stuff. That's kind of awesome. Yeah, I know absolutely nothing of Russian. I just know there's a lot of people who make really great bracelets in Russia, so that's kind of cool. Ah, well, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I have made a few bags over the years, and yeah, if you end up having questions and stuff, yeah, I'm probably the guy to come to. I've done a lot of different variations on stuff. So okay, so this is where now three of them are, and then this is the last one. So we'll join them together after I get this one caught up. Yeah, I've been trying to come up with all kinds of random stuff. I've been kind of on the fence. There might be a video coming up later on. I'll show you something cool here. I was messing around, wanted to try something, and so my thought was my big project, the big wall hanging, is machine washable because I didn't put a dowel in and I made it like, really nice and easy and stuff. But I was thinking, what if I wanted to make it so that way it could have hung like on a nail like you do some of the other stuff? And I came up with this. So check this out. So essentially, this is a 42 string kumi, and obviously half of it goes this way and half of it goes this way, and it slowly kind of feeds outwards in both directions. The difference that keeps it from coming down at an angle like this is this one, each one of the strings gets tied into a knot. This one, it's every other string is it becomes the knot. So like there'll be two reds here, and then they tie together and you get a red going off in either direction. And then two blues came down and the same thing all the way across. And that's how it came out so nice and flat. And mind you, it's not perfectly flat. And I think I figured this out along the way, was that this is just so intensely thick right here that, and it doesn't want to just bend. So I think that the way to have done this is to let it have come into a small triangle to relieve that tension and then go straight out. So if I was going to do it again, I would probably do that. So I've been kind of debating whether or not this gets to be a video or not. And this is kind of some future stuff that I might release. We'll see. That's what I'm working on. Just all kinds of various new ideas and approaches to things. Did I mention that the bag that will follow this bag will be something that's going to be made for carrying a phone around in? Because yeah, Mandy has been really great and has gotten the uh, the kumis all made for the loops to it. So um, there's what, 12 loops, and each loop is 12 string? 12 string. So yeah. So 144 string bag. So it should be big enough to actually hold a phone in it. I've got enough strings set aside that if as I'm working down and I need it to be longer, I'll have plenty of string to replace anything that gets too short. So yeah. This is just going to be a really small bag here. This is a 96 string bag that I'm working on today, which is, it's basically big enough to hold, money and your credit card and your driver's license and that kind of stuff in it. Nothing crazy big, but big enough to hold some essentials. And the patterns that we've been working with so far are all meant to be really super easy. It's just the left and the right knot. There's no zigzagging. There's nothing that anybody that essentially that could do a chevron could make these bags. So hopefully, um, that helps to inspire anybody who's a little bit intimidated by these things, because that's the half the battle right there of making something amazing and fun is overcoming the fear that you're going to be using a lot of string. And it was the same for me. I mean, my very first bag was made out of the very cheapest string I could get, just because in case for whatever reason I bailed on it. I didn't want to have a lot of money invested into it. And in some ways that was good because the string was really interesting and fun to work with. In some ways it was bad because partway through the project, I ran out of it and had to go all over to like every one of the stores to try to find some additional floss because I almost was unable to like actually finish the project because I did run out of certain colors because I didn't balance out the colors properly is what happened there. So yeah, actually I had it out the other day. So this was the first bag. This is like 9 years old now. Um, yeah, still around, still holding up, still in great shape actually. Ooh, fluffy yarn. Um, I don't know what shipping and stuff is like in Russia, but embroidery floss is so much stronger. And the stuff I get is from China, and it is really reasonably priced. Um, oh, I will, when Mandy gets back, I will have her give a link to my string provider. I would try to pull it up myself, but my spelling sucks and it would just take me a long time. Well, the plus side is if you come back and watch this video again later, I should have the closed captions at the bottom to help you translate everything. So ask what you want, and then later you can get the translations. Yeah, there's a possibility they're using a translator to actually get the English out. I've had that happen before, so kind of relatable. I need the scissors. All right. So there we have the fourth one. So I can set this here. And so now when I'm joining up the two, the big thing is making sure that I put these two pieces really, really, really close to each other. Um, you kind of you don't want to mess it up by like not having them close enough that the first knot is somehow weird. Now, mind you, I could bring all these knots from the left to the right or something like that, but I'm going to bring them in a V shape. Um, because you can sort of kind of tell when strings have direction. It's subtle, but the knots actually kind of do tell us the story, and I kind of want the fact that it has been, you know, these rows coming from both sides or whatever. I kind of want to keep that part going along. So, oh, wait, we might have a bot. The red light came on. Do we have do we have bot? It never it never did a thing like it should do, but the red light did come on. Right.
Hello.
Hey, we got a Mandy. Awesome.
Can
Mandy,
you hear me?
I can. Loud and clear.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. I have a feeling that she cannot hear the fact that I'm answering her and that it's almost getting silly at this point. But yes. And just like that, we have a Mandy cam. Oh, but then she ran away. Ah, she went to go turn the light on. Clever girl. Okay. Mandy, if you could send the link to where I get my floss from, our friend in Russia here might be able to take advantage and get stronger strings because, yeah, the yarn is not a good alternative for tying knots. Also, I'm not sure if they've understood what I was saying, but they can come back and watch the video in a few days and the transcripts will be updated so they can actually get the translation and stuff working.
I am on.
Thank you, thank you. But yeah, Rainbow is absolutely 100% right. Yarn is not really good when it comes to making these things. I know that there's a lot of people have tried various types of it, and there'll be some that'll swear by it. There's always those few stubborn people who insist that their way is best. But um, again, a lot of experience in knotting here, and I can tell you that just some cheap Chinese embroidery floss will make such a huge difference. And the price is really, really good. Um, I don't know with, shipping and stuff. Mind you, the more that you buy, the cheaper it gets. So, there's that. I mean, yeah, okay. When I make my purchases, like this, the last one, my last purchase was 950 skeins. So gives you an idea. Like, mind you, and that was, to me, that was a small order. That was perhaps one of the smallest orders I've had in a number of years. So, yeah, so today was Mandy's day out, and that's why she's a little
So
bit
what strange
late.
is that? I can't hear you via Discord.
That is very strange. Hang on, let me take a look at my Discord and see if I can spot the fault. Do, 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 do. It's got noise suppression. There's a soundboard. No, my not muted. Wait, let me see which. Oh, it's on default. Uh, let's see if that makes a difference. Can you hear me over on Discord now?
Yes.
Somehow it changed its settings and went to the default microphone, which of course never works properly. That's why you always set these things up to say what device you're using.
Okay. I was.
Oh, so I was saying to send a little bit of text just to let them know that if they come back, the because they might be using a translator like our Indonesian friends do, let them know that the transcripts get updated so that way they should be able to get translate to work. But that it takes a couple days. It's never the next day. So Phil was out getting food, so unfortunately he's unable to type. I'm kind of looking forward to when he settles in. So this is kind of neat. The this all joined together thing is kind of moving along kind of quickly. Hey, the bot is working. Oh, wow. That is fantastic. I didn't know that was possible. How does that work? Artificial intelligence can be such a powerfully good thing. It's terrifying, but that's great that it's actually doing something. That's awesome. So the only trick about this particular pattern is remembering that the second row has the color come across um, in the middle. So it's just something I like every time I do the second row, I really have to watch for it. So yeah. Yes. We have a bot, guys. So this is good news. This means that if I don't notice the things you guys say the magic words, then you guys win the bracelets and stuff. So that's awesome. Hey, Rara made it. And Isabella. Awesome. We got all kinds of people showing up here tonight. That's great. So this is just the first of the joinings. There's four pieces. So this is just putting together two of them. Um, I am presented with a choice. I could either join the other two loose ones together and make them all the same size, or I can join one of the smaller ones onto this and make this big. Multiple choices that don't matter. Oh, I just discovered here the other day a new um, friendship bracelet making group over in Facebook. And I was like, wait, when did this become a thing? And I joined it and I asked that question, and a bunch of the members were all like, oh, we thought you were a moderator on here. Like, we had no idea that you didn't know. We didn't like they would have invited me had they only known. So yeah, that's crazy. Wow. That is very cool. There's a browser that does it. I wonder I wonder if that means that there's an English version of a browser that could like do like subtitles for like anime and that kind of stuff. Oh wow. Did you? Yeah. Yeah. So it's another one of those groups where people have no idea who I am. And I kind of didn't want to like kind of charge in there and just start dropping like huge, crazy projects or anything. Um, there was somebody, I commented on somebody's thing asking about favorite color combinations. And I said that I love many color combinations, but I think that perhaps if I had to pick a favorite, it would be rainbows because it's like a fade, but that it like just continues on. Because in a fade, you go from light to dark or dark to light, and then it's an abrupt change to get back over it. A rainbow is a fade that is just continuous. It doesn't have that big jump when it hits between 2 points, and that's kind of why I always like playing with the rainbow colors. So I did that, and they asked to see some examples of things I've made. I was just like, I didn't even know where to begin. I'm like, okay. So I just sent them the link to my portfolio over on my website. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, you couldn't pay me to sing in public either. I, I may have sort of sung a few bars to say what is this song here on various live streams, but I don't make that a habit. I I don't like my singing voice at all. I don't mind the announcer voice, but yeah. I have no idea what an AI voice acting is, but that sounds really fun.
It's speaking on your behalf.
Oh, like as in trying to explain something better? Like if my words
No,
suck?
as in translating you
Oh.
in a voice
Ooh.
live.
Ooh. Oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder what I sound like. Oh, I want a recording. Oh, you have got to send me an email of a recording of what the AI me sounds like. Oh, that's I'm glad I have you along for the things like this because I'm pretty simple over here. I had no idea what that was a reference to. So yes, awesome. Oh, so last week, after the live stream, there was a hangout for a little while, and it was kind of short lived. I was not feeling great. And by the next morning, I was absolutely wrecked. My I had mentioned the fact that we had the haze problem over here from the fires burning in Indonesia. Well, between it and all of the trees that are busy in bloom, um, I came down super wrecked. Spent most of Sunday and Monday in bed, and I'm kind of basically getting better. However, about an hour before the live stream started, I had to take some Panadol for a headache and some antihistamines because the sinuses were probably causing the headache. Yeah, if you get good at the karaoke, then you can go on to actually being like a paid singer and stuff. That's how Edie Brickell started. She was got drunk one night singing at a bar, and next thing you know, she has a record album and doing fun songs that if even start to think about that, I'm going to have an earworm. That's really cool. Yeah, the AliExpress floss is really affordable. and I have bought large quantities from them in the past and never had a single problem with them. They've always been really good about getting the stuff here in a reasonable amount of time, and they let you choose the colors that you want. They have like a whole little chart, and you put down, I want 2 of these and 5 of those, and yeah. So there we go. Those two are joined. So I'm going to set them off to the side over here. No, I'll put them up on the thing. So we're going to do 2 and then 2. Yeah, that would be awesome. Oh, I will, if you get me a screen recording, I will make that a video short that we can share. Again, I don't understand what the point of a video shorts are now. I really thought that video shorts were about having an alternative way to get your watch hours, but now that I know that that's not it, I don't understand them. Yeah, this is such an easy pattern, guys. Really. Mind you, that's kind of been my theme for right now. I know that some of the future bags coming up are going to be a nightmare. And I didn't want to start off with that. Um, I wanted to do a few easy ones. And that way, when people saw the really difficult ones, I can say, calm down. It's not so bad. Go look at the easy ones and then work your way up to these. So I needed these to be first. So that way, there was at least that, because I don't want, just because I'm able to do really complicated things, I don't want to squish that creativity or that inspirational thing by going straight at it and making people think that, this stuff is only for the most elite knot makers and stuff, because it's not. It really, it can be as easy as you want, it can be as hard as you want. It really comes down to preferences. So mind you, am I going to enjoy doing the really difficult ones? Because at the end of the day, the look of whatever we produce will be amazing. Heck yeah, can't wait. It's going to be awesome. However, that doesn't mean that these don't look cool. These, I think, look really great. And this thing is, it's such a bright, kind of cheery sort of colors. Oh, that is way cool. I've watched a few people who do that. There was a guy who did The Simpsons where um, did all of the musical parts and stuff, and then the singing and all that for The Simpsons intro. That was pretty amazing. That's that's not only very talented, but the editor for those videos has got so much work involved. I don't know if you guys remember my old intro where it was basically like a tic-tac-toe setup, or essentially it was like the Brady Bunch setup, and it had multiple videos and stuff in it. I made that myself, and that was a lot of work. So, and I wasn't having to match up the timing or anything for it. So, yeah, no, if you're trying to do those singing ones, like that's a lot of edit work. Mind you, the intro to my videos now was even harder still. Like that was probably the most difficult thing I've ever done for video production. And I haven't come up with a single idea that is more interesting or would be more fun to redo it. I was going to have a new one for every year. I just haven't found anything that inspired me to say, yeah, that would be cooler or different or fun. I guess I wonder if anybody, okay, can any of you guys guess what um, video intro I basically made mine based on? Like there was, I don't think that the YouTube group or whatever they were, I don't think that they still make videos any longer. Um, but yeah, they kind of inspired me a lot, and that's where like my video, that's my intro came from, mimicking theirs but with my own material. So I wonder if anybody actually recognizes the source of the inspiration, or if it was just something that I was particularly into and that nobody else got it, because that happens a lot. Like my head buried in the floss, that's from an album from like the 50s, I think, that I owned when I was a child. And I thought that the cover was so cool, I tried to mimic that. Except for in that one, it was a guy who was buried in assorted nuts, and me, I'm buried in string. So and everybody's really, really quiet. I know there's like a little bit of lag between from when I talk and when to expect responses, but it's so quiet. Okay, I can kind of half fix that for myself. I can give myself tunes again. I meant to put these on before the stream started, but I was sort of running around like a madman. Everybody's crafting over here. Well, that's kind of cool. No, strings are getting a bunch. I love the idea that everybody like comes together as a group and just hangs out and is crafting. I think that is absolutely awesome. Man, so these two pinks are so close together in color. It's it's painful. There was a moment earlier where I had said something right. I was before Mandy came home. Um, I had said something, and somehow I did actually hear my own voice come back. I'm not sure if it how it fed back in to my own speakers, but it kind of gave me a little bit of a the hell. So yes, that's totally awesome. I like the idea of like hanging out with the elderly and doing the crafts and stuff. I don't know if anybody remembers, like that was a thing for me a long while back when Mandy's mom was going off to do the groups hangout thing. I was trying to teach them all how to make bracelets, and a number of them had a lot of fun with it. Um, yeah, it was good times. Yeah, so there's the thing. With the whole internet blowing up with the idea that, artificial intelligence can actually generate content and that you can ask it to write a script and then perform the whole thing and do all this. The one thing about my whole channel is it'll be me and it'll be me doing my best to show you how to do all the different stuff. And yeah, hopefully I can teach you guys some neat stuff. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, the only way I can think of if you're having problems like that would possibly to be use something like what I'm using to broadcast with, which is OBS. You would be able to um, tell it what part. Like I can, like this is my desktop over here. This is like I can actually click on things. Um, so you would be able to actually go over top, tell it to record where the video is, and then the sound, like when you hear Mandy talking, you're actually hearing the sound that's coming from my computer. Like it's not taking it from the speakers, but it's taking it from the sound card or from the wherever that, however it does its thing. So yeah, you could use OBS essentially. Yeah, so I've been trying to take a look to see if there's any decent alternatives for GIMP in case there's people out there for some odd reason can't use it. And sadly, um, no, there's not a lot of good alternatives. So if any of you guys have, you know, like a paint tool or something other than GIMP that you're using to try to create patterns with, let me know. Um, I was thinking about doing some tutorials on like how to use the other software. Um, oh, that's why. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, that's another very clever. You do know that you can actually speak, Mandy. Oh, well, yeah, you're the AI. Oh, does the AI do something different when Mandy talks, or do we both sound the same? Uh,
I'm scared now.
if Mandy sounds the same as me, I'm gonna get really creeped out. Uh, I wonder if it's from the same guy. There was a guy I helped make a thing. Cool. Yeah, if you guys are using other apps or whatever, I'm kind of curious as to what you guys are using because, um, yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of my time trying to show how I design and balance and do cool things with the designs. So, like, if you guys have cooler ones, well, then I should adopt that. Or if it's, we can take a look at the various ways. Okay. Mandy, if you could take that link and set it aside, or actually, Rainbow, just send it in WhatsApp, because obviously this is going to scroll away and I will lose it.
That is
Um,
so awesome.
Mandy's got a woman's AI voice. That's cool. Oh, That would be scary. Suddenly you don't have the food that you've been looking forward to eating. That's yeah, but like what I use is I've created a graph paper that's actually on my website. Like if you go over here to the graph paper, and then you get this stuff. And this is how I actually create my bracelet. So if I need like there it is. So this is I can and I just paint them in to whatever pattern I want to create. So spicy breakfast has me remembering the other day. Um, so to really properly tell the story, I have to go back several days. Mandy showed me a video of two radio DJs here in Singapore trying to eat a dish of like, I think it was like chicken and rice. And one of them is sort of eating it and he's kept sort of like, yeah, yeah, it's pretty nice. It's whatever. And the other one is dying. He's just, the sweat's pouring down him and he, he actually looks like it's going to kill him. And, um, yeah, I kind of have a chuckle over it. I'm like, I wonder how spicy it is or whatever. Fast forward until a couple days ago. Was it Wednesday? Thursday. Wednesday or Thursday morning, whatever it was. Mandy ordered that same dish for me, which is supposed to be like, what was it, level 18 or something? Level 15. Level 15 spicy, which is supposed to be, this almost killed a radio DJ. Um, I'm like part way through it when she's like, that's supposed to be like a level 15 spicy. This is the stuff from the video. I'm like, this is spicy? Like, wait, what? um, it wasn't that spicy. It had a lot of the chili seeds in it, but it was not what I thought it was going to be. So yeah. So use a program that has Russian and English language. Cool. I really want to try that. That sounds very interesting. Ooh, my clip kind of got on part of the easel and then it slipped off the side of it. It made a sudden loud noise. Kind of made me jump a bit. Yeah, I can see some plus sides to being able to see where a string was coming from or going. Although I imagine that most of the time I don't concentrate very much on that. Yeah, yeah. I struggle with one language. The fact that some people can do two absolutely amazes me. And that last one is a doozy, guys. That's the one that's really has her racking her brain. And she's not lying. I'm I'll be like, you know the place where we went to eat and they had the really tall chairs and it was, like all day breakfast and she's supposed to know what I'm talking about. Yeah, alphas are yeah. Yeah, rah rah. My biggest thing is I don't I can't get my head to wrap around the notion that there are thousands, not just, we have 26 letters in our alphabet and we made a lovely little song to be able to know which order they go in. The Chinese language is made up of thousands of characters and I can't figure out how they put it in a dictionary. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't. Yeah, send a link. I would be interested. And wait, acrylic?
There
Cyrillic? Acrylic? I don't know.
is no
Oh, by the way, did you notice when I was showing the webpage over there, I discovered how to make um everything bigger. All of the text is bigger and all of the whole everything. I discovered how to make it because my this thing do 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 is whoops. This is on a TV as opposed to a monitor. So trying to read the words has been really, really troublesome for me. I just discovered how to actually make the fonts bigger and then I actually learned how to actually make it zoom in so that way it's even better still. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Back here. Yeah, I always thought that sign language had to be in other languages too because it wouldn't because although, what do the Chinese do with the characters? They can't just do the 26 letters. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Right. This is a very fun international stream we're having here this week. I'm really thoroughly enjoying that part aspect of it. So how do I say the Chinese or the Russian name here? Rainbow. You were supposed to help me with the name.
Vika.
What is it?
She already did Vika.
As in like V or B?
V.
Vika.
V-I. V-I-K-A.
Okay, so Vika, um, I'm guessing you probably already follow me on Instagram. So yeah, you can send links over there. And then if you have questions and stuff, you can always shoot questions through that way if you're running into whatever trouble with the bag. Um, I recently did a video about how to come up with like very complex portions of making a bag. Again, that uses GIMP, which is my photo editor, which is it's like Photoshop. Um, but yeah, I mean, well, I think you kind of at this point, if you're going to make bags, if you're going to make something very big, you kind of need something like that because none of the bracelet things are going to be able to um, be as customizable or let you do as much as the stuff that I do. Oh, and I'm not sure when it comes out. I have a video coming out where I'm going to teach more about how to use GIMP, but that's a little ways down the road. Cool. That looks so cool. I wonder if there'd be an easy way of doing the translation of my the name I use on everything, the AKAAWOL in Russian, what that would look like. Right. I hadn't thought about like how different everything would look in another language. There's probably no way of doing the AKAWOL in Russian, is there? Or not in Russian, in Chinese, is there?
No, because there's no equivalent alphabet.
Right.
The closest thing you could do is phonetically say it in Chinese and then write it out.
I'm afraid to find out what the meaning of the literal meanings and stuff would be. It'd be terrible.
Like, remember when I did your like Kevin Biden
Yes, yes.
something.
few more rows and we will join this thing into a cylinder. Cool. Oh, that looks way cool though. That's way cool. It's always sometimes why. Oh, cool. Well, it's nice to meet you, Victoria. I'm glad you found my channel. Oh, thank you, Robot, for reminding me. We have like cool merch, guys. If you guys haven't checked it out, the merch shop has been updated with some doozies, and even the stickers are pretty cool. So you guys should check that out. Ooh. Poppers with bacon? Ooh. Yeah, that sounds fancy. Cream cheese? I was thinking more like mozzarella or like a cheddar, but okay. Yeah, this totally sounds like something we can do in the air fryer, which adds its own level of danger of like, of course, we could up this. She's using jalapenos, which are okay. We could turn it into cheesy habaneros. Oh, I never finished that story. So yeah, I ate the level 15 food, not spicy. They tried to make it spicy by going like all in quantity wise. There was probably enough chili patty seeds or the bird's eye chili seeds to have been a good maybe 10 peppers, maybe more. And then they like ground up the meaty part of the pepper and stuff into it. And it came out very sweet. Like I don't know if they mixed well, I'm sure there was some like garlic in there and some other stuff, but it came out very, very sweet. Um, but it destroyed my stomach because there was just so much chili. Um, I had no problem eating it. It's just one of those things that kind of messes you up the next day. And not like I didn't like have the whole, ring of fire or anything like that. I just had the very upset stomach as a result. Like I have a thing for like there's certain chilies that I've had that can be so hot that like your inner ear starts ringing, like it just lights you up that hard. And but it opens up your sinuses and you kind of sweat a little bit and it just feels awesome. Yeah, I like that. I used to think long ago, I used to think jalapenos were relatively spicy, and I used to put them into the juicing machine with like carrots and stuff to kind of give that flavor because I hated the flavor of just carrot juice. Um, but when you do it, it makes your eyes water, like the fumes that come off of the juicer when you put a jalapeno through it, just make brings tears to your eyes. Oh, and I found out the what was the red pepper that we especially ordered that because we thought it would be yummy, the ones that they use for the pizza stuff.
Cayenne?
Cayenne peppers. Turns out cayenne peppers are like a capsicum. There's no they've got no kick to them. So I don't know how they're the majority of the crushed red peppers like you use on pizza because they were very sweet. This when you got you might get run over, you might get shot. Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah. Should I tell the story? The spicy story? I once cut up a spicy pepper, didn't think anything of it, ate the spaghetti that I put the peppers in. I was fine. Got up from the table, went to go use the toilet, came out, sat down, turned on the TV, when suddenly I noticed a burning in my pants. And I was like, uh-oh. And then I got worried because I was like, wait a second. I thought if you had like a STD that it burned while you peed, not after you peed. Like what the heck is going on? And the longer I sat there, the hotter it was getting. I finally got up, went back to the bathroom, and took a look. And you could see the fingerprints of where I held myself to go to the toilet. And that's when I realized that I had the oils was on my fingers. And oh man, yeah, yeah, that stuff is detrimental to the Netherlands. So this little thing was a cutting board that I had for a while, and I don't remember what happened to it. I think it just kind of got abused a lot. I think it might have tried to actually use the leather stamping tool and destroyed part of it, but I saved this little bit and I've used it an awful lot of times to do what I'm about to do right now. And that is to make all of the strings in the back sort of disappear so I can kind of concentrate on just the area that I want to work on. So essentially, to keep my strings out of a bunch, I pretty much take everything that I'm not going to be working with and shift them out of the way, because that's one of the easiest ways of having trouble is to have everything right in your workspace. There's what, 3, 6, 9, 18 strings that I need to work with. And by just bringing them to the forefront and everything else out of the way will make that job a whole lot easier. I too was the coffee and cigarette guy, but I quit the cigarettes. I am very grateful to have quit the cigarettes. First off, how can anybody afford the cigarettes anymore? They all went got stupid, crazy priced. Plus the whole, being able to breathe thing is kind of nice. Save the bacon. Don't let the bacon. Yeah, it was weird. Mandy tried to help me to quit smoking for a while and whatever, and kind of gave up on the whole notion. And then one day I had to go to a 7-Eleven as opposed to the regular store, which cost me a couple extra dollars and upset me so much that I was like, that's it. I'm done. I have to quit. And so I went and I got the gum, and the gum basically has enough nicotine to last you for like a couple hours or something, like, or not even like when you first start taking it, I forget how much they say that you can do, but I chewed it as if there was going to still be a molecule of nicotine still in there, and I would chew it for 3-4 hours at a time. And yeah, that's how I was able to quit, was the Nicorette gum. And yeah, it was super difficult. And you know, periodically since I quit, there were times when I would smell a cigarette and be like, ooh, and then remember, like, nope, we don't want to do that path again because it is the most difficult thing to get rid of. Yeah, it doesn't matter how many times you fail while you're trying to quit. It's the whole just finally doing it and finally being, that's like the first step in quitting smoking is to make that deal with yourself, like this is it, I'm done, I'm not doing that again. And then from there you can find ways to do take the next step, but you have to do that first one first, the determination that this is going to be behind me. Oh, maybe you guys, I'm giving you guys some homework here because I'm really, um, I'm kind of excited as this channel is getting closer and closer to being monetized. I have long said that my aim was to have more giveaways, and I'll explain why I'm a little bit concerned about a giveaway through YouTube is because there's no direct way to communicate. There's no direct messaging in YouTube. So if, say, Victoria wins the whatever we have some kind of a thing, it happens, and I say, okay, just send me your email and I'll get back with you, right? 20 people could chime in with emails all at once, and I have no way to verify which one is the real Victoria, right? And it's that part right there that really concerns me on the notion of having these giveaways. How do I make it so that way I know that the person that entered or whatever is the person that, is going to receive whatever it is, a bracelet, a bag, or whatever I'm making. Because yeah, that part right there just really concerns me a lot. I've tried to look to see like other channels that do it, but I haven't seen anybody have like a clear way of making it happen. Maybe I like have to do a contest based on people emailing me, or I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, but I want to make it happen. I'm really excited about making it happen. We did some Instagram ones, but yeah. Oh, you absolutely can do something that big. Absolutely. Um, the trick in doing something that big would be either to do the math, like measure out one bracelet, know that there's, say, how many ever strings in the bracelet, say there's 20 strings and it measures a certain amount. You can do the math to find out how big around you need it to be so you know how many strings. The alternative way to it is if you have something like this where every one of the loops is the same and that you can keep adding on until you finally get it big enough to go for it. Um, and if you look at like either this pattern or the pattern for the bag just before this, they are super easy so that you'd be able to do, something really cool like that. So Rainbow, okay, that sounds kind of cool, but then can't everybody see everybody else's emails? Doesn't that kind of fall into like a weird privacy thing?
No, not if you use a Google form.
Oh, okay. I was just picturing like if everybody could see everybody else's email, then people
No,
start
use a Google form.
could be really mean. Right,
Only
okay.
you can see the spreadsheet of the reply.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Right. So who's going to help me with the new person with the red logo's name or the red dot or whatever? I guess it's kind of orange.
Trolley Roly? I don't know what it's supposed to say.
Trolley Rolly. So yeah, Trolley Rolly. Um, yeah. If you if you can join me in Discord, which is the link is down below, you or in Instagram, you can always direct questions. I can send you links to various tutorials and stuff I've done. You can even kind of give me an idea of what the bag should look like because over the years I've done a few. So this is my portfolio thing. Let's go. If you go to Rapunzel, I know it's silly. It was a funny joke at the time, and we still have it. You can take a look at a number of bags I made. A lot of them are kind of the same, but you'll see there are some that are different. Like this has got like a little flap with just a loop. I can't load the item. So this one just has a flap. I don't know why I can't load that one. This one's got a big old flap on it. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of different designs in here. I don't know why I won't open up a couple of these. They're out to irritate me, obviously. Some smaller versions. Like the ones that are just the cylinders are obviously like the easier whatever. Um, this one's rectangular, but that just has to do with the way that I did up the base. Otherwise, it would be a cylinder like a lot of the others. Same with this one. This one's rectangular. Again, just because of how I made the base. This is huge, long cylinder, big fat ones, star base. Yeah, this one's kind of got like it kind of goes straight and then into a triangle and then into the big loop for the flap on that one. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that you can potentially do with it. So if there's a style that you're interested in, I can help you to figure out how to best design that. Because if you're doing just straight up segments like these ones have, you can keep adding on more segments until you get to the size. If you're going to have something that's more structured, then that obviously requires a lot more planning in advance. And for me, that's kind of like the some of the most fun. Like I really get excited in the planning phase of making something. Um, I don't know, it's crazy. I like that part though. I can't even I can't even explain why I like that part, to be honest. I'm not sure. I guess it's okay, so because of the ADHD, I recently saw something that says that we get worried about the details because we don't want to make the same careless mistakes as we have done in the past because we have bad judgment. So we tend to overanalyze things and we try to look for the flaws in things before we even start the project. And that's why we have a hard time sometimes even starting a project. So for me, like doing the bags is sorting out all those details of, okay, first I need to do this, and then what will happen, and then what do I do with that, and that part of it intrigues me. It gets me excited. So yeah. They made a lot of progress on this here tonight. This is really good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was a hundred. Wait, is it 144? Hang on, let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24, 24 times 16. That's a lot of strings, but that's very thin string. So yeah, 384 strings. Um, that one took me about a month or so to make. So, uh, I want to see the tortoise. Yeah, it seems to be about that time of night where the food starts becoming a thing. Cool. I've seen the pictures of tortoises eating strawberries, and makes them look like little murderous things because they got like red and stuff all over their face. So darn cute and scary at the same time. But yeah, you guys can't tell. I got the music going in the ears here, and it just went from Rage Against the Machine to um the Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which is like so much more mellow. It's like that's a very huge abrupt change. And speaking of it, this stupid thing, so it's an AI DJ, and it went and told me, was yesterday while I was out, that I had been listening to Zug Island as opposed to Zug Island. It's like, I yeah, so bad. Yeah, see, so did like tortoises just sort of go to sleep when it gets dark, or like do they still want to wander around the house and get into mischief? Or I've only ever had turtles, and they were like in a fish tank where they had like water to swim around on and a platform they could climb out of. And I have no idea what they did at night. I didn't like try to watch them at night. God. From Poland. Very cool. Wow, this is a really super international edition here today. So, wow. Yeah, not all AIs are built the same. Oh, wow. Because I always thought that if I had a tortoise, I would just let it run around the house and do whatever. Although I've heard horror stories of families who thought that their tortoise had died somewhere and they never found it, only to have it like reappear a year later and acting like, oh, like nothing had happened. So I don't know. I don't know how they work. I don't know if it's advisable to let them run amok. Aw. Oh yeah, you could probably just glue an air tag right onto them, right? Okay, so now the next area to work on will be between the points, because you obviously have to start at a high point and go to the low point. So kind of just rotate this around. So now it's a whole cylinder. Um, yeah. So I'm just gonna rotate a little bit, and we'll work on this area. Take this around the back side of this. It probably would. Geckos make funny noises too. I don't know if you guys ever been around a gecko, but they can make funny sounds. Guys, I gotta go use the restroom. I will be right back. I am back. What did I miss? Do, 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 do. Wait, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Wait, I lost my. Ba, 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 ba. Ooh, leopard geckos are really cool. They're really cool looking. All right, wait. Da, da, da. Right. Do, do, do. I make funny sounds around the geckos? Oh, yes, I suppose I do. It took me a second to actually, yes, yes. I screamed like a little girl. I admit it. Yes. Yes, Mandy has access to those emails as well. Mostly because she has to help me answer most of them if I'm to sound even remotely professional. I had to look to see what the name of the song was. Like, I haven't heard this in a long time. It's Low by Cracker. Good stuff. Ooh, almost missed a string. Hey, don't you want to come down? So now at this point, I have to kind of make the executive decision as to how many of these rows I will do before I rotate it. And my thought is I don't want to do too many because obviously it leaves out the little gap at the edges. But I don't want to limit it to just one either because it just takes so much more time if all you're doing is rotating it, after each row. So yeah, I have no idea how many we have even. YouTube makes it so confusing. I have two different numbers. One says that there's 13 viewers, and one says 12. I have no idea. It's so weird. So the easy part about this pattern is the fact that, like, say this row here, pretty much brainless. It's just keep going in whichever direction. At the moment I'm going to the left. Earlier it was to the right. It's the next row that in the center of the three pinks or the center of the three darker purples, I will add one single knot that puts the little dots in it, which that's super easy. It's you know, it's only there's like three strings. Like finding the middle of three has got to be like the easiest thing. Well, sadly, I don't think you can add the hearts or not add the hearts. You can't add comments and you can't hit the likes unless you're signed in. and it turns out that there's a fair number of people who watch that don't sign in to their YouTubes for whatever reason. They don't, maybe they don't have a YouTube account, or they're using like incognito mode, or so we just hit midnight here. So that means basically this bag is only 5 hours of work so far. So we've got made the whole cylinder, and now are working our way down it after just 5 hours. Uh, I can picture us all trying to get together, but then we would all be like hang out and then instantly like pull out our own crafts and just like, oh, it's, yeah. So basically, now that I put in the brighter pink, it's two knots and then to the left, one knot to the right. So there's the two to the left, and then this one to the right. And then two to the left. One to the right, and then this one at the end. It's no doubt. You should live in the streets right through my tongue. And I like what I said. Can't love the web you're spinning. Sorry, I'm not home right now. Is our friend from Poland still here? I've actually just thought of a question, kind of wondering what kind of string they use, if they get their stuff out of China or if they get something else cooler. Notice the humans didn't matter. maybe if this channel became like a super crazy, you know, like PewDiePie level, or like, yeah, like PewDiePie versus Mr. Beast, right? So yeah, PewDiePie level, there'll be an AKAAWOL world tour where I come out and I hang out with people and I make bracelets and stuff with you guys, and that would be cool. That would be really cool. Yeah, see, that's just, yeah, I never wanted seams in my stuff. And yes, there's other people who were doing flat pieces and then sewing it up. And that made absolutely no sense to me. Because I've been making tubed bracelets since 87, 88, at least. Wait, yeah, at least. I had to go back and take a look at some of the pictures. Yeah, some of those were at least like 88. So when I suddenly like dawned on me that I could go much bigger and make it into a bag, it was relatively easy that it would be seamless. I need to find a way of making my content easier to find, because it does, when you try looking up various bracelet related things, like I do not come up anywhere near the top of any of those lists, but whatever. I don't think I'd want to, if I was super rich, would I want a private island? No. I think I'd still want to be in Singapore because we have so much diversity in food. Like if I'm on a private island, I'm gonna be stuck with whatever like fish that comes out of the ocean, or like it's not gonna be fun. And not that I need a huge variety of stuff. Like my wife definitely orders way more things than I need. I can eat some of the basic stuff again and again, but I do like the idea of having other possibilities. Like I have a strong addiction for the Shake Shack burgers.
Yeah, but if you were that rich, you could hire a shake shack. You could have your own personal.
I wonder if that's it. I wonder if the majority of the people who follow me because of the bags. That's interesting. That's cool. I mean, I'm happy you found me as well. I'm happy for all the people who have joined this. It's like a family, honestly. I love it. uh, I really wish I could like stream my music in with the rest of the video so you guys could like tell why like my head's kind of like doing this. Not fair. Ooh. Yeah, I've tried looking up Russian words for things like friendship bracelets or whatever, um, for the purpose of having the hashtags to add them in to my YouTube videos, so that way, like, I would show up in a Russian search for that kind of thing. Ichia? So I don't know if any of you guys have tried it yet, but I'm over on Threads now, and a lot of the posts over there are a lot more random and like basically, well, it's very, very different from anything else I share pretty much on any other of the social medias, including I just recently asked the question, and I still haven't gotten an answer. What flavor is candy corn? Because I have candy corn here. I Part of me says it has almost an orange flavor to it, but that doesn't seem right. I can't tell what it's supposed to be. Cute little bracelet. I like that. Wait. Yeah, I use the voice to text a lot because the rate that I can think and talk is far greater than my ability to type. So I do use it a lot. And yeah, there's a lot of times where it does not understand what I'm saying. Well, for that matter, half the time when I go through and take a look at the closed captions to these like videos and live streams, there's a lot of times that, yeah, it doesn't get me either. Right. Yeah, I would imagine that I would think that of all the accents, I would think that Google would understand mine the best because it's the nondescript sort of American. There's no weird pronunciations or, I wonder if everybody feels that way. Like, no, no, mine's easy because, I know it. I don't think so. I think honestly, mine is probably like that. So now I kind of want to write down those three words so I can try to use them as hashtags. Yeah, Scottish has got to be the worst, right? Like, I have seen Jacksepticeye, who's a YouTuber, um, listen to people who are Scottish and he can't understand them. So yeah, and he's Scottish. What does that tell you? Yeah, I bet. Why am I suddenly now remembering the guy who was drunk on a train and saw a brush and thought it was a hedgehog? Or Irish, that was it. I'm sorry. It's Irish. Irish are just as bad. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. So, wow. So bracelets and rugs are kind of in the same. Well, yeah, that kind of makes sense. When you look at my big project, that was borderlining on getting to be a rug. That makes Mm, I don't know that branding is necessarily a thing that I have a problem with. I think that once people discover me, like that's easy. It's the getting noticed. That's the hard part. Like honestly, just getting into where, because I don't imagine like if somebody was like making bracelets and they were like, oh, I've got this pretty well figured out and I want to try something more advanced. I don't think that they think, oh, I could make a bag out of it. Like that doesn't like come to anybody's mind. Um, so like if they found my channel first, then they'd be like, oh, I can make bags. Oh, I can give that a try. That's something to do. Or headbands or bow ties or what are some of the other things I've done? Lots of random things. I did face masks. I did the holders for um, the hand sanitizer. Like, but it's getting the name out there so people recognize that. Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot all about that. That was really cool. It's right in front of me too. Oh, and the cans. I have two cans sitting directly in front of me. Didn't even cross my mind. One has I think a bunch of clips in it, and the other one has pens. It's one of those things that probably last forever and ever. Yes. Yes. Where like whole trees and stuff get covered. Yes. Yeah. Can you imagine if you were like, see a statue of a person standing there, like here in Singapore, like the famous one would be uh, Raffles. Put a friendship bracelet on Raffles' wrist. I'm sure that that's like big trouble in Singapore, but it'd be hilarious. Oh no, I guess his wrists are protected. I just found his pictures. Yeah, his wrists are too close to each other. He can't get to it. This dude could get it. Put a friendship bracelet on him. That'd be hilarious. I have no idea how you say that, but that's yeah. The Banksy has the advantage of the fact that there are way less cameras in the UK than there are in Singapore. We are the the eyes are everywhere here. But I do like the idea. I like the idea a lot. Nice. Or a headband. Yeah, I remember that. Whatever happened to that? That was I know they took away the freezer that was there pretty quickly, but then did they do anything to the wall itself or seems like I know this, but I can't remember it to save my life. Yeah, because I know there's like a lot of like very money thinking people who see Banksy as, you know, an opportunity and yeah, like I've heard that there's that's not like the only one that got covered up that had, you know, big money just freaking out. Oh, well, I look forward to seeing you in the next stream then. Have a good night. Or, I guess it's nighttime there, right? It's nighttime. Good night. Yeah. I was thinking because you're sort of this side of the world, it's 12:30 in the morning here. So yeah, that's how I guessed it. So yeah, evening. Because basically Russia's sort of north and west. Well, depending on where. I guess Moscow, yeah, that'd be a lot further west. Thank you very much. I don't know why this lavender color seems to be such longer string than any of the other strings, but it is. Every once in a while, like one of the strings will just come through and be like this pink here is slightly thinner, and this lavender strings are all slightly longer. It's weird. It's not like bad quality or anything. It's just little nuancy things that somebody like me would notice. In some ways, I kind of almost feel like maybe just doing like the one stripe at a time might make more sense because now that I got to bring this up, I have to bring this side over in. Maybe it would make more sense to just do one strip at a time. Hard to say. It's one of those things that probably doesn't matter that much. It's the whole idea that, um, like if you spend so much more time rotating all the time, it just takes longer. So I'd sometimes try to avoid that part of it. I don't know. Maybe this isn't so bad. It's just a little tiny space over here. So I wonder whatever happened to Phil. He was off getting food earlier. Hopefully the break still worked. Kind of grim if that didn't. Also kind of wonder what happened to our friend Minute Craft.
They said
You said,
the data because I have a migraine.
oh, I missed that. Kind of wondering how far along in this I can actually get here tonight. I would kind of like to have ended this all where like the whole row went all the way around or something, but I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, I should show you guys this. So if you're at all interested in what pattern I'm working on, um, this is my website. I'm at the tutorials and all tutorials, and I've pinned it to the top. So even as I add in more content, it'll stay over here until we get to the next project. So I just wanted to pull this up real quick because I was slightly curious as to like how many rows were planned out into this. So we are in this row here, this nice dark red, and there'll be another dark red, and then yeah, and then the darker purple, but then it'll start to split into the ends. So yeah, kind of cool. last time the last bag that I made, I kind of went beyond what the pattern called for, and that's why it looks like really long and slender. Is it just went really long? Got a little having fun going at it, and just got longer than I originally thought. I hate when this happens. I don't know if you can see that. There's like I just get little knots at the end of my strings. It just arbitrarily just happens. It's like the strings are flying around and suddenly just whoop into a knot. Really annoying.
Happens with kumis too.
What's that?
Happens with kumis too.
Yeah. The super long ones, Mandy uses um the bobbins, and if you've not seen the video, there's an easy trick to it. The bobbins has a hole in it, and that hole actually works to keep the string from just dropping right off of it. You basically wind it up and send it through that through the hole. And then when you want to let out more, you have to kind of bring it around the rest of the bobbin and feed it up through that hole. So yeah, that's the trick. I don't know if you saw today's short video. That was the crazy one. Mandy did like a 48 string kumi. That thing, that thing messes up my head just looking at it. It might be our last pizza night. Our our local Little Caesars has closed. There's one that's within delivery range, but only delivery from them, and they're more expensive than the regular like Grab Food and those guys. I'm really sad. I like my pizza nights. I'm actually looking forward to pizza after this. These long straight rows are so much faster than like anything else. It's so great. Yeah, we could boop the snoots. And enjoy the greenery. The botany. All right, guys. It is going on 1 a.m. over here. And yeah, I still need to do the whole thanking my Patreon people. So let's uh let's do that. Thanks to these people, I can buy string and make cool stuff for you, everyone. So yeah, these guys are my heroes. So if you want to, of course, you can actually join them. It's patreon.com/AKAAWOL. And yeah, so we're 6 hours in. We're kind of have a hard time judging where the halfway point is. We're getting there though. We're I don't know. We've got a lot done though. So I have no idea how much longer this will take. Um, we won't finish it next week, that's for sure. So yeah, come back next week. We'll make more progress, and that will be awesome. And anything else going on? Always get towards the end of these things. I always forget like what else I'm supposed to share with everybody. Yes, the local foliage. Yes. The fact that it took you that long to get that, that's awesome. Anyways, um, ah, we don't have any Patreon things going on right away. I think, was that everything, honey? I think it's everything. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for hanging out this long. You guys have done wonders. Oh, watch some playlists. Go check out lots of videos. We're really trying to hit this goal. We've gotten so far with the watch hours. We could really use some more hours. So yeah, just go play something and learn about whatever level of bracelets you're into. And yeah, as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.